We want to cross over now to Dilly Hussain, who's the deputy editor of Five Pillars, who's a British Muslim news and current affairs website. He joins me now from Bedford. Dilly, great to have you with us. I want to talk about the ideology here for a minute, because this was very calculated. The suspect live streamed the attack. It's believed that he issued this manifesto. There's been comparisons drawn to the type of language that would have been put out by groups such as Daesh or Al-Qaeda. You are very familiar with trying to combat this ideology in the community, but now we're seeing this crop up even more so, from the far right. What do you think needs to be done to combat these ideologies that fester on the internet, that fester on social media?
Thank you very much for having me. I think an important discussion has to be not necessarily the dangers of the far right. It most certainly is. We need to understand how, in the space of 18 years, since the 9/11 and the war on terror, that right-wing groups that were generally on the peripheries are now becoming very mainstream. If you look at Europe, you look towards Hungary, you look towards Germany, you look towards France, you even look towards the United Kingdom, other parts of mainland Europe, whereby right-wing populist groups are becoming more and more mainstream. So what we have to understand here is that those who we regard to be far-right extremists or white supremacists, their normalization or the safe plan that they were given to breed and become larger was essentially granted by the liberal mainstream establishment on whichever side of the spectrum. For example, in the UK, we had politicians who regularly demonize and dehumanize Islam and Muslims. We've had prime ministers who have specifically spoken about aspects of the Islamic religion as an evil ideology. We've had senior parliamentarians who have described Muslim women's dress code as looking like a robber. We have President Trump across the Atlantic, who has also come out with very toxic and vitriolic, divisive, homophobic language. But when we have mainstream politicians, mainstream parties, and mainstream media that are perpetuating this mindset of otherizing Muslims, people of color, immigrants, then naturally what that does is that gives a subconscious and tacit green light for those who are not so sophisticated, for those who are more emboldened to carry out criminal acts, to go and do what they did. So whilst, yes, the growing threat of the far right is most certainly a big concern, but we have to look at the root cause. How have they got to where they are in 2019? It can only be drawn back or traced back to the policies, the rhetoric, the ideologies, the policies of the mainstream establishment and the media.